Poorest towns in the UK, Merthyr Tydfil. How would it sound in your ears if you were told that your most cherished town was one of the poorest? Your answer should give you an insight into the feelings of the residents and governments of cities and towns in the United Kingdom that we have identified as one of the poorest in Wales, England, Scotland, Northern Ireland or the entire country. Therefore, we understand that the Welsh residents of the town of Merthyr Tydfil may not conveniently swallow the bitter pills telling their throat that the next of the poorest towns in the UK that we want to discuss now is Merthyr Tydfil. But we are not the only ones saying this. Please blame the facts and figures on the ground. Merthyr Tydfil in brief. An overview of Merthyr Tydfil might be an ideal place to start from. Of course, we know that we once told you things about this town and you probably remember one or two. Yet we have so far not devoted any video of this nature entirely to the analysis of its poverty state. Merthyr Tydfil, also called Merthyr, the name we'll use more in this video, is a town in Merthyr Tydfil County Borough. It's in fact the main town of the borough administered by Merthyr Tydfil County Borough Council in Wales. It's named after Tydfil, the daughter of King Brychan of Brycheiniog. According to legend, Tydfil was murdered by pagans because of her Christian faith. Subsequently, she came to be known as Merthyr Tydfil, and the name was later corrupted into what it is today. Merthyr's heyday. Sincerely, the case of Merthyr is pathetic. Centuries ago, it had no reason to be grouped near the poorest towns. Before the Industrial Revolution, the town was self-sufficient with an economy based on farming and later trading. Shepherds in the town were living comfortably. Things were going all up for the town in its heyday when it was an important centre of coal mining, steelwork and iron smelting. It used to be one of the vital cogs spinning the wheel of the fast-paced Industrial Revolution. Limestone, timber and water were supporting the growth of engineering. Can you believe that this town was home to Cyfarthfa Ironworks, Dowlais Ironworks, Plymouth Ironworks and Penydarren, the four of the greatest ironworks in the world? At some point, the economic prosperity of Merthyr attracted people such its population rose to a peak of 80,990 in 1911. As far back as 1908, it had been granted county borough status. However, Merthyr's long and varied industrial heritage could not be sustained. Much of the long-established collieries and steel and ironworks bringing prosperity to the town declined in quick succession. We shall get to that later. Is Merthyr Tydfil really poor? Are we supposed to be the ones answering that question? Why can't we just go through the facts together? Not long ago, a reputable research organisation, B&Q, conducted a poll sampling 2,057 adults in the United Kingdom, including 494 of the participants from Wales. Merthyr ranked as the top unemployment black spot in Britain. A study by Sheffield Hallam University agreed with that. Another one, the British Household Panel Survey, says the town is one of the unhappiest places to live in the UK due to a lack of basic amenities and necessities. On a Channel 4 league table, our dear town ranked third worst place to live in the UK. Though it dropped to the 5th position on the table the following year, a Corn survey ranked it topmost among the 10 worst regions in the UK for diet, lifestyles and poor health. A popular paper journal, Gay Times, also conducted a study that revealed that men in Merthyr die younger on average than anywhere else in Wales. While the study found that women in the town live longer than men in the town, the Office of National Statistics reports that women in Merthyr die almost 2 years before women in Cardiff and other cities. What do all these depict? There are not enough jobs in the town. Residents are unhappy because they're poor. They lack access to medical care because they can't afford it, and they die younger than residents of many other towns and cities in the UK. Index of Multiple Deprivation. Now let's consider what we can scoop from the Welsh Index of Multiple Deprivation, WIMD, which measures acute deprivation in the domains of health and education, among others. This research is at the instance of and commissioned by the Welsh Government. It shows that Merthyr is acutely deprived. Nearly 0.5% of the town is among the places ranked in the 20% bottom of the most deprived places. And a quarter of Merthyr Tydfil County Borough is in the bottom 10%. The figure from WIMD also ranks Merthyr as the worst borough while listing the most deprived locations. Let's give you more specific figures from the earlier deprivation statistics produced for Wales, WIMD. We'll speak to statistical geography called Lower Super Output Areas, LSOAs, across various domains measured by the WIMD. Merthyr Tydfil has a total of 36 LSOAs. Out of these, 13, which is 36%, fall within 10% of the LOSAs in Wales. Can you imagine? But take this, 86% of Merthyr's LSOAs are more deprived than the average deprivation in Wales. Do we need any more facts to prove that Merthyr Tydfil is one of the poorest towns in the UK? Residents' grievances. How do Merthyr's residents feel about their town? Expectedly, they're not happy, but they can't prove that their town isn't poor. All they have to say is that it's not as bad as portrayed. They said they're fed up. In a press release in response to the research released by B&Q, they described the Welsh vote of Merthyr as the dullest place as not reflecting the current situation. One resident said, "I live in a private area of Merthyr and there are problems with drugs." But this commenter didn't agree that the whole place is poor, adding, "All we need in Merthyr is better facilities." A 73-year-old resident, Valerie Ward, said, "I think the big issue is employment. There are simply not enough jobs since the industry and steelworks closed down and they shut the mines. I think the Welsh government can do more. There's not enough work for the youngsters these days." He advised that rather than shutting the shops and leading businesses abroad, more investments need to be made. Are these not a clear admittance of the existence of poverty in the town? We can conclude from the feeling of the residents of Merthyr that it's poor. Why is Merthyr Tydfil so poor? We can successfully understand the reason for the poverty in this town if we don't go back in history. However, we have produced a video that discussed the history of Merthyr Tydfil. For the purpose of this video, however, we want to briefly take you through a summary of the cause of poverty in the town. The Industrial Revolution brought about a sharp decline in young men working in agriculture as they preferred to work in industries such as iron and earn higher wages. When the 1829 depression hit Merthyr hard, ironmasters resorted to dismissals, wage cuts and short-term working. This and a sudden downturn in the market plunged employees in the town into hardship. Though after decades of frantic efforts, work got back up and running, it never fully recovered and could not catch up with the steel productions in other areas. This inevitably led to the closure of the industries in the town in 1910. Its attempts at a comeback were truncated by the First World War. By 1919, the industry finally closed. Merthyr's steel and coal industries began to decline steadily. By 1932, 80% of men in the town were unemployed, just less than 100 years ago. There was no capacity to train the succeeding generations so that they could be self-sufficient and be living above poverty. In the 1930s, some 27,000 people fled Merthyr to escape the grip of poverty. Things went so bad that in the 1920s and 30s, the withdrawal of the town's borough status was recommended by Royal Commission. Though the Second World War came with an opportunity to brighten up the town as war industry reached the area, efforts being made to leverage the fortune the war brought to the town didn't yield any positive results. Can there be any improvement? The question is better asked thus: has there been any improvement? Many works are going on in the town centre to brighten it up, and this is all coming together and nearing completion. Examples of this are the new leisure park in the town and the town centre makeover. Please, what do you think? Do you agree completely that Merthyr Tydfil is one of the poorest towns in the UK? Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, comment and turn on the notification bell. This is Learning Canteen.